Yay. Okay. All right. So this is Instagram training. I'm going to show you how I run my business on Instagram. So there's a big um there's a big topic of whether or not you should be private or public. For a really long time I had mine public and I felt that it helped me get more followers, but in reality it's kind of based on like how you want to do it. Now I'm completely private just because I found that more people are like interested in seeing like who you are. So they're more apt to like follow you back or like let you follow them just so they can, kind of fill that curiosity. So right now I'm completely private. I do block all other distributors unless they're on my team, just because I've had a lot of people stolen lead wise. They will go through like my customer or my followers and they'll follow everybody. So it's kind of just a way to protect my business. So the private versus public is completely up to you guys. It's totally whatever you feel. If you are public, the only thing I really, really would suggest is to make sure you're really watching who follows you or who likes your stuff, because if they are another distributor that you may not know, not everybody has great intentions. So just be aware of that you may need to like monitor it and maybe go and just block them just in case. We are one team, one mission, but not everybody follows that. So that's just a warning that I always tell everybody. Okay, so in my bio, I'm going to show you guys on here. See if this will work. I don't have anything in here that shows anything about me being with It Works. Unfortunately, a lot of us work our business, not unfortunately, but a lot of us work our business on social media. So people are used to getting bombarded with people that sell, whether they're selling what we sell or anything else. So I found that if I don't put anything about it in my bio and I'm private, people are more than likely going to accept it and not prejudge who I am or think that I'm just going to spam them to death. So I've just found that it's just easier and I get more followers, excuse my dog, if I don't have anything about It Works in my profile, like my bio. I also link my Facebook, and it's something that you can do in the settings. I'll show you. If you go to settings and then go to the bottom, it'll say linked accounts, and you can link your Facebook right here. This is like horrible. And so that way what I do is so that I don't have to post on Facebook and on Instagram at the same time. I'll just post directly to Instagram and link it, and whenever I'm posting something, there's an option to send it to Facebook as well. So that's what I do, so I'm not having to post on both and take more time out of my day. Not everybody wants to post the same things on Facebook as they do on Instagram. It's up to you guys, but I've just found it to be a little bit easier. Now here comes the fun part. Okay, so I've worked on my Instagram for a really long time, and it's taken me a while to get the amount of followers that I have. And with that comes a lot of consistency. And I know a lot of people are like, there's no way I could do that. But it's actually not that hard. Anytime I'm watching TV, anytime I'm laying in bed and I just take a little bit of time, I'm adding people. I usually add anywhere from 100 to 400 people daily, just random people. And I'm going to explain kind of how to find people to follow, because I know a lot of people think, that that's difficult, or a lot of people want to follow by hashtags. And there's nothing wrong with following by hashtags. I would just suggest to not follow things that other distributors would hashtag, like look for with hashtags, because if you're following like weight loss or something like that, that's what everybody else is going to be looking for too. So if you use hashtags, if say that you're a public profile and you use hashtags, make sure that you're making up unique ones, because if you're using anything like to do with like children or like moms or anything like that, that's more than likely going to be something that another distributor is going to be using as well. So then you're going to be following someone that like 400 other people are going to be following. So like for me, I have a boxer. So what I'll do is I'll put like boxer dog in the hashtags and I'll follow people that have boxers, because normally other distributors aren't going to follow somebody based on like their dog type choice. So that's kind of what I do. The other thing that's kind of new to Instagram is that you can search by location. So at the very bottom, there's like a magnifying glass. I know some people already know this, but I just learned it not too long ago. And up here, you can hit search. This is weird to do backwards. Okay, so it says top people, tags, and places. So like if you were looking for people via hashtags, you can hit tags, and that's where you can type tags in. But if you go to the one on the right, you can put in places, and literally you can type in like any country that we're open in, Disney World, Chuck E. Cheese, anything like that, where you can like find people that have tagged themselves at those places. And that's something I like to do, especially because we are open in different countries. My dog's gonna drive me crazy. Especially because we're open in other countries, it's very difficult for you to reach those people unless you're actually searching for them. So I like to look up, like, sometimes I'll do like my research and find a place that's in a different country that I think people, you know, that I might get along with or might be interested in this would go to. So like there's a Disney World in other countries. So sometimes I'll look for that. I think there's one in London or something like that. So I'll look up that kind of stuff. I'll just look up straight, you know, that country, and it'll pull up different cities or territories in that country, and I will pull up that, and I will follow people from there. The other thing I like to do is anybody that I follow, I will go to their followers as long as they're not a distributor, and I'll follow their friends. One thing that I always want to tell everybody, because I made the mistake of doing this, is if you're adding private profiles and they are not either responding to your request, so they're letting it sit there, and they're not deleting it or not accepting it, you only get a certain amount of people you can follow on your account, and that's 7,000. So if you have sent out 1,000 requests to people that do not accept them and they let them sit there, that's 1,000 less that you're allowed to follow. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically what I'm trying to say is I sent out a lot of requests to people that are private, and either that account is inactive, or they just don't want to accept me, or they just let their, you know, requests sit there forever and they just don't accept them. I now cannot request over, I think I have like, I'm negative 1,000. I'm not allowed to, like, those are gone and I can't use them anymore. So I can only go up to 6,000 in my like following, how many people I'm following, because I have requested so many people that are private and they have not, oh puppy, and they have not, they've let my request sit there. So now I only request to follow people that are public, unless it's strategic. I will explain that in a minute, but normally I only request people that are public now, just because I don't want to waste any more of my follows, if that makes sense. So, oh, my dog. I just lost my train of thought. Okay, so people that are private, I will request some of them. And this is something that you have to kind of figure out on your own, but it's something that I do. So say I find somebody who is private, but they're following way more people than what are following them. I will request them, because more than likely they are following a lot of people. They just keep their stuff private. That is at your own risk, because they may not they may not accept you and your request may sit there. But for me, I've always found that people who they're following a lot of people and not a lot of followers, and they're either a distributor for some kind of MLM company, or they just want a lot of followers, so they will normally accept you. But other than that, I always follow public people. Okay, so I'm going to go over kind of like the basics. I think everybody probably knows how to comment on things, but a lot of people don't understand how to message people. And there's a couple ways to do it. And I found that when you send a lot of messages, things get kind of lost. And if you're doing it one way, you're not going to know that you sent them a message. If you're doing it a different way, you're going to know if you've messaged them before. you're going to avoid multiple messages to the same person. So like, this is one way. So this is a girl that I follow. Ooh. And there's like 3 little dots right here. Wrong one. Okay, I lied. You have to go to their profile. All right, so this is one of the girls that I follow. You can pull up her picture, and there's a 3 little dots right here. Why is it saying no? Oh, I'm sorry. I just messed up again. Okay, don't go to their picture. Go to their profile. Then there's 3 little dots. Okay, so that's where you can block people, blah, blah, blah. But there's also a send message button. Now, when you do it this way, especially if you send a lot of messages, it's not going to show you that you've messaged them immediately until you send them another one. And so I sometimes do this because there's a way to delete your messages. But if you know for sure you haven't messaged them, it's okay to do it this way. But the other way is a little bit more time consuming, but it's usually what I do is I'll remember their username. I'll go back to my main profile and I'll go up here to this is where your messages are, and I'll hit this little add button. Maybe my screen is like cracked. And it says send photo or video, send message. I'll hit send message. And then up here you can search the person. And then when you search the person and you like put that person in there, so like we're going to do Riley. I just messaged her today. It's going to pull up your messages. But if you do it the other way, it's not always going to, but it will do it as soon as you've sent the message. Now, if you want to delete a message, say you accidentally sent them again, all you have to do is hold down and hit unsend. And so like a lot of times that'll still give them the notification, and it may remind them, hey, I haven't responded to that person, but it is going to send them a notification even if you delete it. So that's one way I do it so that I'm not sending multiple messages like over and over again to someone who had already told me no. That's just how I do it. So there's 2 ways to do it. The other thing I want to talk about is interacting with people. I would say in the first, like, not going to lie, probably year, I didn't interact with a lot of people on Instagram. I just was all about followers and how many people I could get. And that's helped me, of course, because I reach a lot of people. But the thing is I found that if you're adding people and you're immediately messaging them or you've never spoken to them at all, they're not going to be apt to buy anything from you. They're not going to want to listen to you. They're going to think that you added them just to sell something, which in reality you did. And so what I found is if you're interacting with them, at least for a couple days, they're going to be more apt to listen to you. And all that requires is just commenting and liking on their photos. So what I normally do is when I add somebody, as soon as I add them, I like anywhere from 3 to 5 of their photos. Sometimes I will comment on them, sometimes I won't. But I always at least like 3 to 5 of them. You can do more. You can go through and like totally spam them out and they probably won't care. Because I found that Instagram is all about how many likes people get, and obviously, you know, like most people like to get likes and they like to get comments. So building that relationship with them, like commenting on their stuff and be like, oh my gosh, your kid's so cute, or I love your makeup or your outfit, you know, something that's genuine is really going to take you a long way. The other cool thing, say you find somebody on Instagram and you're like, oh my gosh, I really like this person. I think they'd be really good at this. One thing that I think it's pretty new with one of the updates is when you go to their profile, those same 3 dots at the top, you can click and you can hit the turn on post notifications at the very bottom. And what that's going to do is it's going to notify you every single time they post. And that way you can immediately go like their stuff or comment on it. And I do that. I did it a lot in the beginning and I regret it because I was getting so many notifications about people posting. So I only do it now with people that I'm just like really, really wanting on my team or working with a lot. Because if not, you'll get overwhelmed and you're going to get like a ton of notifications, especially if someone posts like 20 pictures in one day, like I do. Okay, so building relationships. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about, I'm going kind of fast and we're going to do questions at the end if you guys are confused. I know not a lot of people on here, but You guys can also message me if you watch this live, or the link afterwards if you have any questions about anything. Okay, so the second one, or last thing I want to talk about is making sure that you're not following too many people compared to how many people are following you. So the one thing that gives away if you're selling something on Instagram, or if you have a business like this, is if you're following like 6,000 people and you only have like 300 followers, people are going to be like, what's going on? You know, they're automatically going to probably assume that you are running a business or you're selling something. In the beginning, that can be a little bit difficult, like when you're first building up, not to be following a ton of people, but there's ways to kind of like take care of that. So for me, I always leave it like about a 500 ratio. So if I'm following, or if I have 4,000 followers, I'll follow 4,500, and then I'll go and weed out the people that are no longer, like, they've been sitting there for a while and they haven't requested me back. So to do that, I've used a lot of different apps, and this is the only one that I have stuck with that I really, really like. Now, I paid for part of it, and it was $1, but you don't have to. That was just so I could see who was blocking me because I'm nosy. But you don't have to pay for that. Okay, so it's called Followers. It's got like, it says Followers, and it has like a little rainbow. And when you open it, you'll link it to your Instagram account. And then it's going to, every time you open it, it'll like calculate who's following you, like your new followers, who's unfollowed you. So that way you can see if like you were talking to some girl and she didn't like what you're talking about, so she unfollowed you. That way you can unfollow her, because if they're not following you, they're not going to see anything that you're posting. And so they're just sitting there and you're following them, and you could be following somebody else. And then this one right here is going to say they're not following back. So that's like the people that those are the people that you've requested that are not following you back yet. So like right now I have 401, and I try to keep that at about 500, and that's it. I try not to go over. And then these are the people I'm not following back, and these are of course people that are blocking me. This one will not be there for the free version. You won't be able to see it. So anytime, like usually once a day, I will go and see who's unfollowed me, and I always have some. And so it will calculate every time, and then I just literally go and click it, and I'm unfollowing the people that unfollowed me so that I'm not wasting my time talking. Oh, I just requested her. You know what I mean? Like wasting the people that could be in that I could be following. And then when I go on like a following spree, usually 2 or 3 times a week, I will go in here and I'll go to the one that's not following back. These are people I requested that are not following me back. They just don't want to follow me back. Some people just don't follow back, or they just haven't gotten to my request. And I will go through and delete them. And then I'll delete all of them as much as I can. I think that this one only allows you to delete like 30 to 60 at a time. So, and that's every hour. So I will sit and do it a couple times a day so that I can get rid of them. And then I'll just do it all over again. So I just follow people all day, every day, and I interact with them. And that's literally all I do. And the reason I think that Instagram and Facebook are really different. Facebook is a lot of the people that you know, unless you're like me, and it's something that I'm going to talk about a Facebook, like how to run your Facebook if you decide that you want to open it to people, which I highly suggest if you really want to do well in this business, is to have an open Facebook, but it's not something for everybody. So if you aren't wanting to, Instagram may be a good place for you to do this because it's not as personal. For me, at least, it's not as personal. So for me, I feel that a lot of people that are on Instagram maybe post different things than they do on their Facebook, because Facebook's more for family. So I have found it's a lot easier to reach a lot more people. People are more open on Instagram because they don't really care if they know you. And it's just a lot easier. So for me, I send out mass messages, not mass messages like a bunch of people at one time, but a bunch of messages at one time. You have to pick kind of what a number works for you. Most people work, most people have children, so you do have to kind of like balance your time wisely and pick a number that's for you. So for me, I send anywhere from 40 to 100 messages a day on Instagram. and I send usually 10 to 15 on Facebook. Instagram's kind of gotten on the Facebook wagon where they will catch you if you're sending multiple messages that are the same. But they're not as bad as Facebook. I think you can send up to 300 on Instagram that are the same, and with Facebook, it's not that many. It's like 50. Excuse me. So for me, what I will do is anybody that likes my posts at all, even if they have told me no on another product on Instagram, I will always, always message them. On top of that, I do send a lot of messages on Instagram. So there, after I've been interacting with people, I will always send them a message. But you do have to kind of pick what number works best for you. So I may send 120, maybe the only thing that you can, do. But if you are not sending any messages, you're not really reaching people. So that's my only advice on that thing. I think that's all. Do you have questions, Becca? I don't know how to unmute you. You're muted. Did I mute you?
Is that better?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What was the name of that app again?
It's just called Followers. Do you have Android?
Yes.
I don't think it's available on Android. So with Android, I would do Crowdfire.
Crowdfire. Do you know what that looks like?
Let me look. Because I know some people are team iPhone, some people are team Android, but I feel like if you're running this business, you should have an iPhone. It just seems, I don't know, like, do you guys have the thing where you can copy and paste now, right?
Whoa. Hang on.
Okay.
Oh, okay, there we go. I accidentally backed out of this. I was like, how do I get back? But copy and paste, yes, I can do that.
Okay, because for a while there you couldn't. Okay, this is Crowdfire.
Looks like a little finger on a button.
Yeah. Wait, is that right? Yeah, that's the right. They've redid it. Huh. I liked Crowdfire. I used Crowdfire for a really long time, and I actually used it on my iPhone for a little bit. But the thing is for a while there, they were only letting you unfollow like 15 people, and it was just not worth it for me. So, yeah. But I mean, it may not be that way anymore. So that's one to try out. But there's a lot of different ones. Don't feed into, there's like ones that help you get followers. You can do coins and this stuff. They're not real people. They're actually not real accounts. And you'll just get a bunch of spam messages all the time.
I get those right now anyways. I'm just like.
Yeah. Just wait until you have some random guy asking you to send pictures of his feet or of your feet to him, because that happened to me.
Nobody. Not happening.
There's just a lot of fake profiles on there for some reason. Did I cover everything or did I go really fast?
I think you did pretty good. Whatchamacallit?
We're still live, so don't cuss.
I'm trying not to. I think the thing that I did just recently put my post back to private.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I was public, I kept on getting someone mentioning my names in comments saying, here's how you get a lot of followers. I'm like, yeah, I didn't ask this.
I still get that when I'm private. I think it's like a bot or something that gets your name, and if you're following a lot of people, I don't know if it's an Instagram thing or what, but that happens. I just go and block them every time they do that, but it's not a real person normally.
Okay.
But I mean, the thing is though, is I'll still go public every once in a while, because sometimes I will use hashtags. I switch up what I do a lot. The only thing is it's just, you got to find out what works best for you. I know a lot of top earners that are public, but they have a lot of of their downline following them, and that's making up a lot of their followers and everything. And for me, my downline is always welcome to follow me. I'll never delete them or anything like that, but I just don't want if you're public, even if that person is not following you, they can still go and follow your followers without following you. They're still able to see everything. And for me, I've had so many people that I've been talking to be bribed by other distributors to like come to their team, and I just want to like protect what I got going on. So, yeah. But it's up to you guys. I mean, it's totally up to you. I was public for a really, really long time. And now I've found that when I'm requesting all these people, they're curious. So they want to like, you know, follow me back. And so I've just found that my followers have went up a lot being private.
Okay.
And that's my goal because I want to reach as many people as possible. Anything else?
No, not yet.
No? I'm trying to think what else I wanted to say. This may sound probably a little bad. Not bad, but like impersonal. Whenever like I'm watching TV and like I don't have anything else to do, I'll literally open my face or my Instagram and like scroll and like and scroll and like. I won't even look at the pictures, but I'll just like so that I can get those out there. You gotta multitask. So like, you know what I mean? Like there are times that I am really in it and I am very genuine and I will go and comment on people's photos and, you know, make relationships with them. But sometimes I'm just busy. So I will literally sit and watch my movie and scroll and like, and there's nothing wrong with that. But to get those like real like connections, I feel like you do have to be genuine. You can't be fake. I've seen a lot of distributors, like there's like apps you can buy and websites you can pay for that will post for you. They post comments for you. And like you can tell because it looks so funny when they put way to go or great job and it's like a selfie of somebody. Like you just gotta really, I don't know. I think it makes people's day when you give them a compliment. And so that'll, I don't know, it just opens up a way to be friends with them or, you know what I mean? Have them eventually be on your team or want to try something.
Yeah.
Or just make friends.
I've made 2 friends on Instagram.
Yeah?
I think I'll say 3. One lives, oh God, I think she said Oregon, but she's a broke person.
That's all right. We're all broke.
Well, I was something else. So.
Oh.
Yeah, and then there's one from Australia, and then there was one from Scotland.
Hey, and that's what I mean. You would never meet those people walking, you know what I mean, like blitzing. And I think that I like blitzing in person. I think it's awesome and you should do it. But I think that if you're not on social media, you're missing out on so many opportunities with people because there's just so many people you'll meet in your town compared to what you can meet whenever you go all over the world.
Oh, bye, Lindsay.
Oh, that's all right. I know she was driving home, I think, from work, but yeah. I think, yeah, because they're on she's 3 hours behind us. But I'm going to actually take this off live so that I can post the link and so that we don't say anything bad. But anybody that does have questions, just message me and I'll help you because I know when I get nervous, I talk really fast, so I get through my stuff really quickly. So if you guys need help, let me know.